I really wanted to make it. Every week I used to go up to the website and take a 3D tour of the entire campus. कि यहाँ मुझे गुजारने 5 साल मेरे कैसे भी करके. And took the exam. I think it went reasonably well. कि interview shortlist तो आना चाहिए. Because I'm like interview तो crack कर ही लूँगा. And the next day I went for my interview, full and confident, suited up, and like I'm going to kill it today. The next 30 minutes was the two years के dreams का destruction हुआ है वो 30 minutes में. And I'm like, okay, one blow, second blow, third blow. Oh, the interview is a blow. This can't be happening. What will I do now? I had planned my life according to कि मैं 5 साल यहाँ रहने वाला हूँ. IPM करना है कैसे भी करके. I had not imagined a life कि क्या पता मेरा ना भी हो इसमें. And I wrote an email to him, कि look, I really want to get on this course. It's been my dream for the past 2 years. And I just sent that email. Within few minutes, my inbox, it notified me that there's been a reply to an email. Okay. Back then I was like, oh, are they considering me? Delusional, and like any, hopeful person, you'll be like, क्या कुछ magic हो जाएगा, मेरे को मिल जाएगा admission, who knows? And then the reply was, your dreams are bigger than a course in an IIM.
Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Okay, what are we gonna talk about today? A lot of you who have appeared for the IPMAT Indore 2025 have connected with me. I spoke to a lot of students for their success interviews. I spoke to a lot of students who have not able to make it. IPMAT Indore crack nahi hua. Your pain, I understood. I understand the efforts you guys have put in. I understand the hard work you guys have put in for the last 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, how difficult it is. But you know what? I always tell my students who connect with me that don't lose hope. Okay? Whenever all the doors are closed, there is a small window which is always open, and look out for that particular window. This year, a lot of the students who were not able to crack in 2024, they managed in 2025. Kudos to them. But do not lose hope. And today, I have someone who absolutely who have lived it, okay, who have actually experienced it, that by now not really losing hope and by just following the passion, where would you be able to reach, okay? And today, we have Shalin Bhansali. Now you all must be wondering, who is he? All right. So let's listen from the horse's mouth. Yes, Shalin, tell me, why was that LinkedIn post went viral, and why the Logical Indian, if I'm kind of naming them correct, have actually reposted that particular post of your LinkedIn post. What was that LinkedIn post all about?
Yeah, long story. So the story says that day when I posted it, morning I went to the gym, right? And I was wearing my ISB t-shirt. So it has a logo of ISB on it, right? And I use it for workouts generally. I was in the locker room, and somebody, I think a guy in his mid-40s sort of, reached out to me, ki, are you from ISB? I said, yeah. Oh, my, some relative is planning to apply for ISB. And but एक दो बार कर लिया है and हुआ नहीं है, तो क्या करना चाहिए? I told him कि you can do these things and you can try your luck again. मैंने कहा अच्छा, नहीं वो क्या है कि दोबारा करने के एक बार करने के बाद दोबारा होप नहीं आता है कि you will get in. So I said ऐसा तो नहीं है, होता है. I mean, I've seen people do it, and I told him this. I went home. On the way back home, I just went into flashback. I'm like, okay, मुझे ISB में मिला है admission, but there have been instances where I've not been able to, get what I wanted to get. And that's what got that in me, ki, there are people in this world who may not be able to handle, the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, in a very good way. So let's write something for them, something which they might be able to relate with. And I found my story a little relatable because I thought about what I went through back then. And, now what it feels like after doing reasonably well in the academic sphere. I think that was the logic behind the post. And I think that was about
reasonably it. Well. Yeah, somebody who got 100% merit scholarship from ISB. I like the flex you said that it's reasonable. But yes, I want to know the story of your LinkedIn post where so for all of you, Shalin has applied and appeared for IPMAT Indore in 2019. Okay, so let's listen the story. What happened when you applied?
Right. Story doesn't start in 2019.
Okay.
Story starts in 2016.
Okay.
Right. I'd met one of my mother's friends. He is an IIM Ahmedabad alumnus. Right. And I always looked up to him. मुझे always था कि मुझे IIM Ahmedabad से पढ़ना है, कुछ भी करके. And he told me the way to do it is graduation but CAT दे दो and get in. I'm like, उसके पहले नहीं हो सकता. The IIM tag is something that I wanted. And he's like, he was not aware of IPM, so I mean, he didn't tell me ऐसा है. And then I was researching and I came across this thing कि okay, 12th के बाद भी IIM जा सकते हैं, इंदौर में जा सकते हैं. That Indore was the only college that offered IPM back then. I researched about it. I fell in love with the course. I'm like, this is what I want to do. Because that was the time when you were deciding science, commerce, and so on. I told my mother, I'll take commerce, but this is where I want to go after 12th. And that day in the evening, out of curiosity, I just said IPM past papers on the Google. And I saw some questions. I said, let's solve and let's see kitna aa raha hai, kitna nahi. And I saw and I was like, okay, I need to work for this. And so the moment my 10th standard got over, I enrolled for coaching over there. Every Saturday, Sunday, 5 hours each. Every day in the night, an hour of practice. And I really wanted to make it. Every week I used to go up to the website and take a 3D tour of the entire campus. कि यहाँ मुझे गुजारने 5 साल मेरे कैसे भी करके. And yeah, I guess that's how those 2 years went. And IPMAT day came, and I was always I want everything to be perfect. So I woke up in the morning and I did my yoga. कि क्या पता, I never did yoga in my life. उस दिन मैंने किया, क्या पता कुछ oxygen मिल जाए, something works out in the paper. Did all of that, went to the exam, and there was heart was racing because your dreams of 2 years are dependent on this exam now. It's right now or never, right? That was a thought back then. And took the exam. I think it went reasonably well. And I was hopeful of an interview shortlist at that time. Ki interview shortlist to aana chahiye. And that's what happened. Me and my friend, both of us who were giving it together, we got an interview shortlist. And I was actually always worried about the aptitude test and not the interview. Because I'm like, interview to crack kar hi lunga. बोलने में मजा आता है, and I think I can tell my story well. But then that was not what destiny had in mind for me. I prepared for the interview. I must have given at least 6 to 7 mocks. All of them were fantastic, the mocks, right? All my interviewers said, bro, you're going to make it. ये हो जाएगा. Tension मत ले. I'm like, ठीक है, सब लोग बोल रहे हैं तो हो ही जाना चाहिए. And the next day I went for my interview. It was in Vashi, somewhere in New Bombay. And I was full and confident, suited up, and I'm going to kill it today. And we had our, the VAT and the starting the essay writing part. Then I went for my interview. Till the moment I sat down on the chair, I was 100% confident. This is my day, I'm going to kill it. And then started the questions. And the next 30 minutes, right, was the, 2 years के dreams का destruction हुआ है वो 30 minutes में.
I can understand the barbecue.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, one blow, second blow, third blow. Oh, the interview is a blow. So that was the case, right? And I'll tell you what happened in the interview. So I was prepared for interpersonal questions. I was prepared for GK. I was prepared for, general awareness. And I knew my things well. The interview turned out to be slightly on the academic end. And economics, business studies, these kinds of questions. I was not expecting this. And a lot of those were out of my 12th standard syllabus. I come from the state board, so our syllabus is different from the CBSE board. And I just told the interviewers, sir, this is not in my syllabus actually. I don't know the answer.
Ouch.
And he gave me a look, and I got a sense at that time, theek hai. Then he asked me crazy questions like, prove the law of diminishing marginal utility by using derivatives. I'm like, okay, you need to calm down. And then he figured I could not attempt a single academic question well. So he went to the extracurriculars ones and the general awareness ones. I did them well. But then by the look he had on his face, I was sure ki, dude, this is gone. And he said, you can go. And I exited the door. I had all my stuff with me. And I just went away from the door to the lift lobby. And I just started crying loudly. I'm like, this can't be happening. what will I do now? I had planned my life according to, कि मैं 5 साल यहाँ रहने वाला हूँ. This just came crashing down like anything. And terrible experience. And like any, hopeful person, you'll be like, क्या कुछ magic हो जाएगा, मेरे को मिल जाएगा admission, who knows? शायद मेरा aptitude test का score बहुत अच्छा रहा हो. Disclose तो किया नहीं था वो लोग ने at the time of the interview. Try करते हैं, क्यों नहीं? I mean, let's stay hopeful. But then, as luck would have it, and as rightfully, on a one fine evening, I guess 6th or 7th June 2019, I remember this day very well. I was playing turf cricket, right? And the friend who had given the exam and the interview with me was with me at that time. Suddenly, while fielding, he just sat down. Phone dekh raha tha wo. And he was seeing his phone and he just looked at me like this. And so he didn't really want to get into IPM. He just was giving the exam. He said, dete hai. And he looked at me like this. And by that look on his face,
you knew.
I knew कि कुछ तो आया है इसका. And he knew what it meant to me. So he's like, and I said, okay, let's go. And
so did he get in?
He didn't get in as well. I mean, we are best friends to this date. So entire undergrad together, entire 12th together. But yeah, I took out my phone and the first one was, you've been waitlisted. And terrible waitlist rank. Like, you can't get in with that kind of waitlist. And I was like, okay, that 1% hope I had of getting in, that's gone now. And I just quit the game I was playing there. I never quit playing cricket. It's the game I've loved since childhood. That day I couldn't. And I just trudged back home and, told my parents कि अब मुंबई में रहना है 5 साल. And yeah, that was the entire result story of my IPM journey.
Okay. Then what did you do?
Yeah. I think this was 8-9 p.m. in the night. And I just sat down on my rocking chair. That's my comfort place in the house. So I was like, what do we do next? To be frank, people say plan A, plan B, plan C. I had no plan B. This was my only plan. IPM करना है कैसे भी करके. I had not imagined a life कि क्या पता मेरा ना भी हो इसमें, right? But at the start of my 11th standard, one of my friends had nudged me कि तू CA के entrance के लिए register कर ले, देना मत देना बाद में, register कर ले, who knows? I registered and I knew कि ठीक है, there is this CA entrance exam which is there, so this can be an option. But I said that's still 10 days down the line. Right now I have to process this. And I was thinking and my mother couldn't see me like that कि यार depression में नहीं आना है, it's just an exam, it's just a course, it's fine. I was like, no mom, like I wanted this and I didn't get it. And it's the first time in my life that's happened. I was a ranker in 10th, 12th, I was student of the year in my college in 12th. Like, first time I'm seeing this rejection and it's not feeling, good. And she's like, okay, mera bacha hai, I have to do something for him. And she told, why don't you do this? Dekh, teri profile achhi hai, your scores are good. Maybe your interview was bad. Why don't you email the director of the institute, Professor Himanshu? I'm like, okay, why will he reply to nobody like me? She's like, kar le, kya farak padta hai? What if he, relates with your story and gives you the admission? I was like, I don't see any point in that, but I did it still. And I wrote an email to him, that's the LinkedIn post which went viral later on. Ki, look, I really want to get on this course. It's been my dream for the past 2 years. And I have to, get in. Like, can you please make an exception for me? And I just sent that email. And this happened actually the next morning, right? I sent that email and I just said, okay, theek hai. Within few minutes, my inbox, it notified me that there's been a reply to an email. I'm like, okay. Back then I was like, oh, are they considering me? Delusional, Then the reply was not what I expected, but something which, changed my journey for the next few years till now, right? The reply was simple, look, we can't make an exception. But he did say that your dreams are bigger than a course in an IIM. And I'm sure you'll do very well. That's what he said. That's when I was like, okay, I was making one course my dream, life's dream. And I felt that's not justified. life is bigger than that. Like IPM is not life, it's a part of life. So is any other course. That's when I felt like, okay, we have to rebuild now and go on to the next chapter of life. And yeah, that's how I went
And
ahead.
you took admission for your first year in?
I took admission in Narsi Monji College. I took in the BAF degree over there. So, as I said, I registered for the CA entrance exam, and from a Gujarati family, NM College. The next thing which comes is chartered accountancy. So I was like, सब friends कर रहे हैं, let me also do it. 10 ही दिन बाकी एंट्रेंस को, थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ के क्या पता कुछ हो जाए. मतलब ठीक है, लक तो खराब चल रहा है, but let's try it again. And I gave the CPT and I cleared it by a very, very marginal number. I was like, good, finally some success. Right? That's when I said, I think CA is my calling. यहाँ से नहीं हुआ है, तो CA ही मेरा next होगा. And this is something I learned, I mean, in hindsight, if I think, just because something doesn't work out and something gives you a hope, doesn't mean it's your calling. Like, so the lesson was, don't make a course or something like, don't let it get to your head. Okay, this is my life's mission, right? So yeah, anyway, I started chartered accountancy and I joined my first year as well along with that in college. Studied for CA intermediate the whole year, appeared for the exam the next year, and it had its fair share of ups and downs, the entire journey, like any other CA student, right? And I managed to clear the exam, the CA exam. And then this question I was thinking since a long time, why am I doing CA? Am I doing it because I love the course? I realized the answer is no. I didn't love the course. It was good. Didn't really like it. I was doing it because there was nothing else to do, which is what I thought at that time. कुछ नहीं है तो ये कर लेते हैं. And that's when one of my seniors, like 10, 12 years senior to me, I went to him for advice. Like, look, this is what where I'm at. I think I'll clear my exam, and what should I do? But I don't enjoy this thing. And he gave me a few career options. These are 2-3 things you can do. If you continue in CA, then these are your options. If you do an MBA, these are your options. If you do some CFA or something, these are your options. And that's when he asked me some big questions, कि तुम्हें life में क्या करना है. That made me realize कि okay, chartered accountancy is not something which is falling into this particular journey. And before I dedicate more years into it, right, and start losing those years, let me take a mature call, and let's exit this journey if you feel that okay, this is not what I'm liking. And that's when I applied to the Indian School of Business, the Young Leaders Program. And in fact, at the start, I was scared of leaving CA completely, because what if you don't get into ISB, right? ISB is not a very easy place to get in.
Absolutely.
So I said, we'll have to do things side by side, right? And this is something a lot of people ask, should I take a drop or not? If I take a drop, should I continue studying side by side? So my personal belief was always that, you take your time to do what you want to, but keep an option running by the side so that you don't feel like, okay, if that does not work out, then what? So I started studying for GMAT along with my articleship of CA. It was crazy, right? 10 hours of working, 4 hours of college. Then 14 hours ke baad your GMAT studying starts, and then your sleep comes into the picture. So did that for a good 4-5 months and appeared for the GMAT, got a good score. But then ISB was always about holistic profile, right?
Right.
A test can't get you into that college. Made my applications, essays, appeared for the interview. And then I was reasonably sure, okay, I'm at this place where interview's gone well, scores were good, and I think I'll get admission. That's when I said, okay, now this is the right time to bid adieu to the CA course. And then shortly, I think in a month, I got my ISB admit as well. I think that was that full circle of, rejection to acceptance. And that's when I was like, ठीक है, चलो, अभी कुछ ना कुछ तो हो जाएगा शायद जिंदगी में.
And now you have already graduated from ISB.
Yeah.
Now you are an MBA, and you have graduated with 100% merit scholarship from ISB.
Right.
Okay. This particular story, Shalin, is nothing but inspirational. Okay, it's something which gives hope, and that point in time when you are 16, 17, 18, appearing for aptitude test, which is big, considering it's directly a ticket to an IIM.
Right.
to IIM Indore.
Hmm.
Okay, what worse would happen after IIM Indore is कि तुम MBA की डिग्री IIM Indore से लेके निकलोगे.
Yeah.
उससे बुरा और क्या होगा? मतलब वो बुरा नहीं भी है.
बुरा नहीं.
But the students who actually appear and are not able to clear, the kind of rejection what they go through, it is something pretty big. So your journey is something which is a clear roadmap or an example that things would change. You just need to hang on.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me something. This can definitely be a path for a lot of students. Okay, IPM Indore nahi clear hua hai, Rohtak nahi clear hua hai, XYZ. What did you really focus on with your graduation year? Because eventually, if that is what your goal is, the universities and the colleges are many. You need to have the credibility in you, or you need to have your profile where you can apply for good colleges after 3 years. So you tell me, when you started with your NM College BAF degree,
Yeah.
okay, what did you work in terms of your profile? What exactly did you focus on?
Right. No, interesting question. I mean, this is really relevant. I'll tell you. So I've been, even before my graduation, in fact, 11th, 12th period, in Bombay, we have like junior college. So I was into all these co-curricular activities, societies and clubs and festivals, college fests. And one thing I realized in that brief 2-year period, that I have learned so much through these activities. So I wanted to continue that. And I always knew that after graduation, wherever you apply, it will not be admission based on an exam, or it will not be admission based on what your undergrad grades are. Right? It will be a holistic view of your profile. That's when I thought, I can't just spend the next 3 years studying, and I definitely can't spend the 3 years studying and hoping कि इससे मेरा हो जाएगा. Yeah, I'll appear for CAT and I'll crack it. So the co-curricular activities part of it is what I took on very strongly after my 12th
Like
standards. Yeah. So I joined various associations in my college. Economics Association, I joined the accountancy cell, I joined the finance cell. What it does is, it gives you learnings beyond the classroom, right? In classroom, you learn a concept, let's say in finance, you learn cost of capital, right? But in a committee event, you will actually know what that means in the real life. What does it change in the real life, right? So those kinds of learnings you can't get unless you either intern somewhere, or let's say you go to these competitions and you figure that out. That is one thing I did. Participating in different competitions in different festivals. Second thing I believed is that the quality of leadership is very important to inculcate. Whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to succeed in corporate, whether you just want to be an impactful personality, leadership is important. So how do you hone it, right? And I believe college is the best place to hone that, without any downside, right? In a corporate role, you might take 10 years to reach a leadership position, but in college, you're there in 2 years. Right? So my friends and I, we started an inter-college fest. It's called Arithmos. It's the management fest of NM College. It's 6, 7 editions now already. And there I learned the basics of how to lead people, how do different departments within an organization function with each other, what motivates people, so on and so forth. Along with the tag that it had on my CV, it also made me more empathetic as a person, so that when I step into the world after 3 years later, and let's say if we just speak from a B school application lens, they judge you as a person, not just as, not just from a resume. And that gave me so much depth in terms of interacting with people, in terms of managing people. People management is a task these days. And that became the central point of my ISB interview, right? Everyone has one theme of their interview whenever they go, be it in IIM, ISB, wherever, right? One thing becomes the major part, and this became that. Okay, what have you done during college? I've done this. Okay, explain me this, explain me this, explain me this. And I was like, okay, this definitely did help me. So second thing was this, organizing as a skill. Third thing was reading, because any IIM, any the ISBs of the world, they expect you to be on top of what's happening in your surroundings. So I developed an interest for reading news. I developed an interest for knowing what was happening around the world, be it economics, be it sports, be it any politics for that matter. And just being curious enough to know that, and having as much breadth as possible to your personality, I think that's what helps in any post-graduation career, and especially in an MBA career. Who's an MBA? An MBA is a generalist, right? You don't have expertise in any one particular field. You're expected to operate across the board. The more depth you have and the more breadth you have, that's what helps you in a post-MBA career, and that's what B schools look for when they are recruiting people for their program. So that's what I focused on.
Shalin, profile management is something which is a crucial part for any student. And whatever you mentioned that you started, you were any which ways into cricket, then you started taking part in the clubs and committees, and then you were into festivals as well. You were reading a lot. And that definitely helps. But tell me something, was it very difficult to re-attempt IPMAT Indore?
So I didn't re-attempt.
You didn't?
I didn't re-attempt.
You never even thought about it?
I never even thought about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you the reason as well, right?
I wanted to get there.
So there was this option, right? Take a drop, re-attempt the exam and then see how it works out. I'll tell you that's not a bad strategy to take. It works out for a lot of people. It ultimately boils down to what kind of a person you are. I was always this person who wanted things now, right? And if I don't get it now, I'll move to the next available, option. And back then, in my mind at least, it was this, this stigma associated with, taking a drop. And in hindsight, I realized that that's not the worst thing to do, right? Because, you have an advantage anyway because you've studied it for 2 years. So when you attempt it will be good only. But back then, I didn't really think about it. I was like, theek hai, ye nahi hua. I took it as maybe God's plan is not there for me to go to IPM. So let's focus on something else. So that's what I ended up doing. So yeah, I didn't really think about re-attempting IPMAT at that time.
Okay. Because we are talking about 2019 and now I think the stigma is kind of reducing. And I think as my student kind of said that, it kind of needs to be normalized. Okay, preparing for it. But, irrespective, tell me something. When you got to know about ki Indore nahi hua, okay, you have not managed to crack it. What was you never had a plan B. How did you decide on to that now it cannot be anything else and I need to look out for a college? How did you finalize on going with the NM college?
Right. So along with, IPMAT, I had applied to NMIMS, I had taken symbiosis, all these entrance exams I had prepared because naturally you tend to, appear for all these exams. And I got admits to NMIMS, I got admits to symbiosis. And naturally the question, as you said, is which college to take, right? Because NMIMS is a great college for BBA, symbiosis is a well-known brand, and Narsi Monji NM college was always an option for me, right? So it was a combination of different factors. It was a combination of A, what do I want to do in my future? B, for that, what is the step right now? And C, the financial aspect of it, right? All that were factors. The first question, what do I want to do in the future? I had no clue back then. That was the case. And that's the case with a lot of people. So naturally, that could not be a decision-making factor for me. Secondly, uske liye abhi kya karna hai? Naturally doesn't fall into that same line of thought. So my simple thing was, look, NMIMS, Symbiosis, Narsi Monji College, all three are great brands of colleges to have, right? And I have gotten admits to all three. So I need to select one. So I looked at the ROI aspect of it, right? I researched what are the placement history of each of these colleges based on whatever you invest in that college, what do you get out of it? I did an analysis and that's when I came to, theek hai, all these three colleges are somewhat in the same range. There's no distinguishing factor. But then because I had done my 11th, 12th also from Narsi Monji, that nostalgia factor was there. Let me continue over there. Friends are from there. Already have set my base there in terms of, activities and such. That's when I decided, let's do this. And because I was also thinking of starting chartered accountancy, right? So which is why the BAF course was a great complement for that thing, because BAF is in a way a mini CA kind of a thing. That's how I decided on my college after my 12th.
Lovely. Tell me something, Shalin, now when you look back, I'm sure the pain of rejection, considering I have personally seen a lot of students, sharing their feelings with me, when you put that 2 years of effort and you don't really reach where you want to, it's clearly a heartbreak. Okay. now when you look back, when you are a MBA, you already are an ex JP Morgan employee, you are working also, you're currently working, right? What exactly do you feel?
No, fantastic question. And this is one thing which I feel the world needs right now, right? Especially the student community. The struggle of doing something for 2 years, not getting the outcome, right? Back then it used to feel like, why did this happen, right? And even during the process, I was always focused on admission milna chahiye, admission milna chahiye. I was focused on the goal, right? And in hindsight, there's this very interesting quote in the Bhagavad Gita, right? It says, Karmanya vadikaraste ma fadeshu kadachanam, which says, don't focus on the result, right? आपका अधिकार सिर्फ effort करना है, right? And you don't stop your effort, don't expect the result. And if your effort is genuine, then the result will be achieved in one way or the other, right? So that is one thing which I want everybody to take out from here. Secondly, a lot of times when we are surrounded by darkness, we feel we are buried and dead. We may also be planted, right? We might not be buried. We might be planted to get into something else. If one door is closed, there are 100 other doors open, right? And rejection is not rejection. It's redirection in some way. So a lot of times when we fail, we think, okay, I got rejected. No, you didn't get rejected. Maybe you learned something out of it. Maybe you dodged the bullet. Maybe it made you, kept you available for better things. That's what you need to believe. And this inherent belief that, okay, whatever has happened with me is in my own benefit and it will help me get to somewhere else tomorrow. I think that inherent belief has to be there. Now that, that second phase of it can be taking a drop, reattempting it and getting there. I've had friends who've done that and they're in great places right now. Other thing can be something like what I did. Theek hai, move on from this, get into something else. Then, you can find your way over there. That's something what I did. And both these approaches work, right? So that inherent belief ki rising up from the ashes, even though you're burnt, that quality is something which can take you miles. And not only in education. What do you think? Like after you get into your dream MBA school, you won't face rejections? That's not the case.
Rejection is going to be a part of life. And that is something I completely agree with.
Exactly.
That's why your story stands out. Now tell me, if you have to give one advice to the student community, students who are right now watching you, listening to you, okay, possibly relating to your story, okay, what is that one advice you would like to give it to them?
One advice is, please calm down. Do not attach your life's dreams with a course or a career or anything else. The best is always awaiting you, right? And do not shy away from, trying again. A lot of times we do something, doesn't work out, we give up, right? You never know, sometimes all it would take is one push and it would be over the line. And this is something I want people to take home. कि एक बार कर लिया नहीं हुआ, ठीक है, वापस करो. Try till you succeed, right? And you never know, that can be the answer to your worries. So, A, not attaching yourself to any course, any outcome. And B, even if you don't get over the line, try again. You might fail again. That's possible. But along the journey, the learnings you'll take home will help you for life ahead. I'll just give a very quick example, right? And a lot of people who have done their MBA might also relate with this. As I said, rejections don't end after you get into an MBA college. During placements at MBA, you apply to, let's say, 50 companies, you are rejected by 45 of them.
And it doesn't even end there. Even if you go ahead, being on the other side of going through the interviews and now, I can tell you that rejections will happen every time. Okay, and what you're saying is absolutely correct. But there is one thing which I just want to kind of put out there to all the students who are watching right now. Okay, your journey, Shalin, is nothing but definitely, I'm mentioning it's an example. Example for students who are preparing at this particular time when they're working. I keep on time and again saying that it's a tightrope what the students walk. Managing their board prep, managing their studies, and at the same time working for the aptitude and trying to be at a place which is, a dream, That's what you look at, studying in the hallows of IIM. It is a dream for them, and rejection definitely kind of, it's hard. But the idea is to not stop there. Okay, work, keep on moving. Do not stop. You are not a tree. Okay, keep on walking, and that's where you reach your goal. Work, ensure that you're working on your profile, ensure that you're working for your dream. If you feel nahi achieve hua, so it is okay if you're not able to achieve it. There would be a time where it's possibly, as Shalin mentioned, it's not a rejection, it's a redirection. You would achieve your goal if if your hard work is really genuine, if you're really putting in effort. It will definitely give you results. Not the one which you desire, but definitely the one which is apt for you. Okay, and this particular podcast was nothing but a little message to all of you, all the students out there listening, and preparing, that it is okay. It is okay to face, to have that rejection coming in. It is only going to teach you something. But remember, you're not alone. With you, there are so many students who are working hard. And the main problem would be that when you give up, when you stop moving, when you don't try, जब try नहीं करोगे, then how exactly you would get the result? So decide what is right for you. If you want to reappear for IPMAT Indore, go ahead, do it. If you feel that's not really the right decision for you, that is fine. Start with your, for first year with any good college, or, a college which you feel is right for you, with the right direction. But ensure that you move ahead, you prepare, you just understand what is right for you. Okay? And with this note, I just want to thank you, Shalin, for, doing this with us. I hope the students take a message, understand, learn, and just understand the fact that an IIM, as, it has been wrote in the email that, all the dreams are definitely much bigger than an IIM. But I just hope that all your dreams, do come true. All the best for what you are doing. And all the students there listening, work hard, stay focused, and ensure that you keep moving. Stay positive and go ahead, give that shot if it's in your mind. If you want to give it an attempt, go ahead, give it an attempt. Nobody would stop you. If you really are, you're just strong in your mind that you want to do it. And with that note, I would sign off. Thank you so much for watching. And do share, do like, and in case if you have any questions, please mention it in the comment box. I'll be more than happy to answer it. In case if you want to watch anything else, some particular college you want, do mention it in the comment section. We will get that for you. All right? So, bye-bye.